radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Monday, September 6th, 2021. 250 days into the new year. Only 125 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. A total undisclosed location. But it is beautiful. You have no idea. You have no idea. One night I'll run a contest. Bring some fade or not over here. I'll do it. I'll do it. Tighten this down. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Ray's Hobbs. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? All right. Happy Labor Day, everyone. More on that in just a bit. I got a new boom arm for the studio. I got a 48-inch boom arm, and I needed it, right? And it clears my lights. Man, that's really sweet and stuff. And it's big, but it's stiff. And, you know, my other one, I could just flick around and stuff. This one, you know, it's like pro, you know, whatever. I guess the professionals out there prefer it stiff. I loosened everything up, thought I would, you know, no. Did not happen. So I've got it adjusted. I just got to angle the mic down a little bit. I could bring it down and then put it in my normal position, but I can't swing it up. And then when I move it over here, like get out of the way, it's blocking this screen over here. So I got to do this and then do that. I can do this, but that's about it. So I got to get used to it, but it's great not hitting the lights and the cameras. It's pretty cool. And it looks nice. It's very sleek, very professional. All right. It's Labor Day. And, tonight, we have very special guest, me. That's right. I'm the guest tonight. Tomorrow night, we're taking off. I will be attending Rita's father's funeral, and that's happening tomorrow. And the funeral itself isn't until the late afternoon, and it's quite a distance away. And I'm really not going to be in the mood for a show tomorrow night. So I'm taking tomorrow off, okay? But I'm here tonight. And then Wednesday night, Dr. Matthew Johnson joins us for the first time to discuss the Bigfoot reality. He doesn't do many interviews. His book is great. I have it here courtesy of The Awakening Man. And so that's Wednesday. And then Thursday, of course, is another Fader night with open lines all night long. I've been talking about the month of September for for a while now. It is shaping up to be extremely busy, and I should be taking tonight off because I'm not taking the rest of the month off. That is for sure. This Saturday, I will be at the premiere of the film, I can't believe this is actually happening, Extraordinary, The Revelations, which has been accepted into the Pasadena International Film Festival. That's going down Saturday, September 11th in just a few days, 5 days. So I'll be doing that, and we gave away 2 tickets. Catalina and Carrie will be there. I can't wait to hang out with them once again. But that's going down. So if you would like to attend, I would love all the Fadernauts in and around Southern California to come and hang out with us. It is going to be great. So just go to Pasadena International Film Festival, their website, and just look up the film. It's 6 p.m. Saturday night, and you can buy your tickets right there. Okay? Get a day pass. Come hang out with us. So that is Saturday. Then I swing back for another week of Fade to Black. And then immediately after that, Thursday night, we'll wrap. Friday, I jet down. Maybe I should leave. No, I guess I'll leave Friday morning. Head down to the LAX Hilton for the Conscious Life Expo. And the links are in the video description box below. We have it throughout social media. You can go and get your tickets. In-person event, of course. There is live streaming as well. And we'll have the Fade to Black booth and all that fun stuff. So that's going down September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Hilton. That wraps. I come back for another week of Fade to Black. That's going to wrap, and then I jet out to Laughlin, Nevada, and I'm going to be hanging out with Ronnie McMullen and Connor McMullen and the Get the Tea trophy truck. Okay, so I'm going to suit up. I'm going to ride in that thing. Yeah, would love to drive it, but they're not going to hand the keys to me, but I'm going to be doing that, and so that rocks out and finishes out the month of September, which says to me, maybe I should have taken today off too. But I didn't. More on that in just a moment. All right. It's great to be here with all of you. I had an absolutely amazing weekend. I'm going to be talking about all of that tonight. And there's a lot of pictures out there on social media, and we'll get to all of that too as well. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Third Stone Studios. That's an awesome GIF. If you guys want to check, man, if you haven't done it yet, you need to hang out with us over on hashtag F2B in the Sandbox and just watch what goes down there every night during the show. You guys are the absolute very best, the Fadernauts. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. The Sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. We don't bite. Come and hang out with us. And, that was built by the Fadernauts. That was named by the Fadernauts. The hashtag F2B is the Fadernauts. You guys created that entire world, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're listening to my voice, new to the show, but go and check it out. Get TweetDeck, by the way. Get TweetDeck. Okay, now, also the setup for tonight is the guest is me. So I'm just going to do my thing tonight, all right? But we haven't done an AMA in a while. So if you are so inclined and there's a question that you've wanted to ask and haven't had the time, haven't thought about it, you can do that tonight, hashtag F2B, F2BQ. You can do that. I won't have time to check email, but I'll be in the chat rooms too as well. So if you want to bust out a question, I'll see if I can get to those later on tonight. Okay? All right, let's get to the breaking news. It's about as crazy as it gets right here. The Australian state of Victoria will lock out unvaccinated people from participating in the economy. Premier Dan Andrews announced yesterday. Victoria is currently under heavy lockdown restrictions with residents of Melbourne, which make up the vast majority of the state's population, living under a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew, stuck at home except to work, buy groceries, or to get a COVID-19 vaccination. Other than that, you are to stay at home. When the lockdown is lifted, Premier Dan Andrews said yesterday that future restrictions will apply only to those who are unvaccinated. Here is his statement, quote, "There is going to be a vaccinated economy, and you get to participate in that if you are vaccinated. We're going to move to a situation where, to protect the health system, we are going to lock out people who are not vaccinated and can be," end quote. That's about as scary as it gets, and that is Victoria in Australia. That's it. I'm just going to leave that right there. We've got a lot of fader knots in Australia, and although I don't want to get too political on this show, I would love to hear what you have to say about that. It says, okay, Dan from Australia just said, that was quick. "You wouldn't know it, Jimmy. Traveling around for work, it just seems like there are just as many cars on the road and people around. Doesn't even seem like a lockdown." Interesting, right? And this is how the media handles it. Thank you for that, Dan. And that came directly from down under. All right. This also breaking news today. U.S. federal judge Leonie Brekema ruled this week that AI, artificial intelligence, can't be listed as an inventor on a U.S. patent under current law. The case was brought forward by Stephen Thaler, who is part of the Artificial Inventor Project, an international initiative that argues that an AI should be allowed to be listed as an inventor in a patent. The owner of the AI would legally own the patent. Thaler sued the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office after it denied his patent applications because he had listed the AI named Davis, that's capital D, capital A, capital B, capital U, capital S, Davis, as the inventor of a new type of flashing light and beverage container. In various responses spanning several months, the Patent Office explained to Thaler that a machine does not qualify as an inventor because it is not a person. In fact, the agency maintained that the machine is a tool used by people to create inventions. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to Idris Elba is 49 years old. Do you know that Idris rock and roller? No, not rock and roll. Was he in rock? No, he wasn't in rock and roller. He was in the other Guy Ritchie movie right before that with the diamond. Yeah, he was in that one. Anyway, Idris Elba broke the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest man in a convertible. I'm not making this up. He went out to one of the salt flats, maybe it was Bonneville, I don't know, in like this turbo Bentley convertible and busted out like 250 miles an hour, something crazy. Somebody post that. What's Idris Elba's world record? I couldn't believe it when I read it. And maybe it was 200 miles. Whatever it was in a convertible. And it was too fast. Idris is nuts. Salma Hayek today is 55. Roger Waters today is 78. And bassist Patrick O'Hearn is 67. Of course, Frank Zappa, missing persons. And Judas Priest drummer Scott Travis today is 60. And Macy Gray is 54. There's Idris. I love Idris. You know what? I mean, the ladies, I mean, is he like the sexiest man alive? And I can only imagine what the ladies think about Idris Elba. And he's also the fastest dude in a convertible. Our dead guy's birthday today is Mickey Waller, 1941 to 2008, died at the age of 66. Mickey was a drummer who played with everybody. Rod Stewart, John Mayall, Peter Green, John McVie. the Walker Brothers, Cat Stevens, Eric Clapton, Bo Diddley, Dusty Springfield, Paul McCartney, and Billy Bragg. But in 1968, technically 67, 68, right in there, he joined a band and made an album that would change everything in the world of music. The Jeff Beck Group. And that album, Truth. That's right. The instrumental Beck's Bolero with Jimmy Page on rhythm guitar, Keith Moon on drums, bassist John Paul Jones on bass, combined with Mickey's percussion, would become stuff of legend. I listened to it today like 5 times. Mickey died of liver failure in London on April 29th, 2008, at the age of 66. Incredible life. On this day in history, OTD. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, hold on. Okay, all right. Where's Idris? No, I'm looking for Idris's record, not the fastest convertibles. Chuckles. Okay. But that was close. That was good. Hey, Jimmy, what's this guitar? Is it a... Oh, wow. Where'd you find that picture? Wow. Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, I still have that guitar. Man, that was from a while ago. It's a Jackson. Yeah, it's a Jackson Dinky. I don't have it in here. No. Hold on. Oh, it's right behind me. Yeah, I still have it. It's a cool guitar. Maple neck. Yeah. I heavily modified that guitar, though. That guitar, I lifted the neck out. I routed the back, the springs. I raised it up so far that the springs were scraping in the back, so I had to route out spots for the springs and everything else, but I turned it into a pretty shredding guitar, and I love it. It sounds great. So, yeah, I still have it. And how does it compare with the Kramer 84 or the RG 550? Look, the Kramer 84 and the RG 550, those are world-class instruments, and they're not cheap. It doesn't compare. The Jackson's great for the money. I bought that guitar at Guitar Center because I wasn't really looking to buy a guitar that day, but I was walking around looking at guitars. I was there buying cables, and the back of this guitar had a scratch on it, like this gouge. And so I made them an offer that they laughed at. I said, okay, we'll go talk to the manager. But nobody's ever going to buy this guitar with this scratch on the back. And they ended up taking the deal, and I walked out of there with that guitar. So, yeah, I still have it. Okay, I just got sideways. Where am I at? OTD, on this day in history, 1522. Magellan's expedition circumnavigates the globe. One of Magellan's 5 ships, the Victoria, arrives in Spain and was commanded by navigator Juan Sebastian del Elcano. Right? He took charge of the vessel after the murder of Magellan in the Philippines in April 1521. Incredible. On this day in history. Fate or fact? All right, here we go. The African country of Zambia entered the space race in the 1960s. The plan was to go to Mars and convert aliens to Christianity. That was the plan. But those plans ended when one of the Afronauts, that's what they call themselves, got pregnant. Another pulled out to join a band. And a third disappeared and went missing. And that was the end of Zambia's space race. That's a fact. Look it up. It's vetted. Tonight, we welcome very special guest right here on this program, me. Tomorrow night, I'm taking off. I have a funeral to attend, Rita's father, and I will be doing that with family and friends tomorrow and throughout the evening. So that's it. That's for tomorrow. But Wednesday night, right here, Dr. Matthew Johnson joins us for the first time to discuss the Bigfoot reality. He has sent me a bunch of images and audio that we're going to be playing and looking at during the show on Wednesday night. You're not going to want to miss this show. Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. All right. So, this is when I drink my River Moon coffee. I was on with Tracy Austin last night on the show, and she broke out her coffee. So I went and grabbed some of mine. And when I came on the show, I was like, here's mine. She wants to trade. I bet mine is better than yours. Fade to Black Blend, River Moon coffee. Oh, it's the best coffee in the world. The best coffee. Don't you want one of these little bags? Got my picture on it right there. Don't you want one of these little cute bags of insanely delicious coffee? Yeah. It's all simple to do. Just go to rivermoonwellness.com. All of the links are over at jimmychurchradio.com, the Amazon store, all that stuff. All right? All right. And, man, I keep looking at this picture of Guitar Center. Yeah, that was a good day. I love guitar shopping. They had another guitar there that day, though, and it was like an older ESP Star guitar or Kramer Star. It was a Star guitar, and it was white with a Floyd, and I loved it. It had a maple neck, and a very rare guitar, and it wasn't that much money. And I bought the Jackson, and I left, and I should have bought it doesn't matter, right? But I came back the next day to buy it, and it was gone. And it's hanging up right behind the guy that is the taller guy here. It's right behind him, and his name, oh, no, it's not there. I can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah, it was the one that got away. All right, Idris Elba, that's him, right? Or was it a coupe? I thought it was a convertible. It was a coupe? That's what he drove? Okay, all right. But at least I was halfway right. There was a roof on the car. There he is. All right. I got something in my throat. Let me do this. Got to do it. So, yeah. Happy Labor Day, everyone. I got to thinking over the weekend that, well, there is no way I'm taking a day off if I don't have to. Right? Just because it's Labor Day, plenty of us are out there getting it done. Right? People still have to work. Right? Why should I take the day off? There's people out there working at stores and restaurants, delivering stuff, driving a truck across the country, whatever. So, what gives me the right to take the day off? Well, the short and correct answer is nothing. Nothing gives me the right. So here I am. Maybe out of guilt, too, but here I am. Then I thought about bringing on a guest tonight. But it's Labor Day. Let everyone enjoy some time off if they can get it, right? And plus, I just came off of 2 other shows as a guest. Whitley Strieber. And last night, the Tracy Austin show. And I had so much fun hanging out with those two. And I found that I couldn't shut up. I've been doing that with Christina Gomez lately on her show. It's her show. She's the host. And I just go on there and I just start, I just take it, it's, and I suppose that there's a reason why I can't shut up, right? There is so much to say. And honestly, I never get a chance to speak my mind. I keep it all in. Well, most of the time I don't, but sometimes I just can't help myself. But why not do a show with just me? I should do this more. Not really like an AMA. That's not what I'm talking about. We do that all the time. But but just a show where I can just let it all hang out for a change. So anyway, that's how tonight came about. So if you have some questions, right, and you've wanted to ask them over the last few weeks, you haven't gotten one in, go ahead and post them up in Twitter, right? All right, there, hashtag F2B, hashtag F2BQ, and I'll keep my eye on it. You can post up in one of the chat rooms. I'll try to keep my eye on those two. This isn't an AMA night, but I'm just saying that if there's something like this guitar, that was good. That was good, and that was from HH. I don't know who HH is. See? HH got one in there. Yeah. And you can too. All right? I'll try to get to him. Now, I've just moved into a new house out in the desert. And don't worry about the location. Nah, you ain't going to find that out. But I'm very close to a few really, really cool things. Like Lockheed Skunk Works and Edwards Air Force Base. All right? Now, this area is it's the Mojave Desert, and this area is loaded with tech. Everywhere you go, it's NASA this and Apollo that and pilots' names and airplane names, and it's the names of the streets, the parks, the ball fields. And the other day, I finally met my next-door neighbor. And everybody here, Awakening Man was making this comment. Dude, I don't see any people. Nice neighborhood. This is great, but I don't see anybody. And but anyway, so I finally meet my next-door neighbor, and we had a little chat. And I didn't reveal what I did for a gig. Still haven't. She doesn't know. But I did throw out there that I was an aviation buff. And I said, hey, she let me know that her husband had retired and how long they've lived in the house. I said, hey, well, did he work for Skunk Works? She goes, well, of course he worked for Lockheed. The whole neighborhood works for Lockheed. I was like, what? I suspected it. I kind of guessed that. But out here in the Mojave, that is the only game in town for 100 miles in every single direction. All the big companies have their secret complexes out here. And later on tonight, I'll go through some of my recent sightings and stuff in great detail. But yeah, I'm in the Black Project hood, and it's really cool. This is Fade to Black tonight. Our very special guest is me. I've got a lot to say. All right? All right. We're going to be going through all of that tonight. So just be patient. I got a lot to say. I'm prepared. If you have any questions, post it up. Hashtag F2B, hashtag F2BQ. You can also get active in one of the chat rooms. All right? All right. Tomorrow night, I'm taking off. Wednesday night, Dr. Matthew Johnson. Thursday night is Fader night with open lines all night long. All right, that's the week here on Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back to start my yapping. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. with wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at wtih.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, on this very program, my special guest is me. That's right. Tomorrow night, I'm taking the night off. I've got some serious family business that I must attend to. And then Wednesday night, Dr. Matthew Johnson is here. Full night of Bigfoot. Got a lot of images and audio and things that are going to be played and displayed during the show on Wednesday night. I'm very excited about this. And Matthew doesn't do shows very often, and he's looking forward to it, and so am I. You guys are really going to love this show. So that's Wednesday. Thursday night's Fader Night with open lines all night long. And tonight it's just me, and there's a few things that I've wanted to discuss, and also this weekend, I don't know if he's listening right now. He's out on the road. But Eric, Awakening Man, came by, spent the night, and he's on the very beginning of a 3-week road trip. And so he stopped by here on his way out to go and do his thing for the next 3 weeks, and he's going to be shooting video and doing all of that stuff. But he spent a couple of days here. And so we're going to be talking about that, some of the things that we saw, we went out and did. We posted a pretty funny video on Facebook. We streamed live on Facebook. And if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. But we went out, and it was very cool. So I'm going to talk about that, too, as well, because we saw some things. Not only out in the desert, but we saw some things in the sky. And we'll be talking about that. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that over the years, one of the things that I've been talking about was getting a telescope. And I talked to a lot of friends, old friends too, that surfaced that they're into all of this and gave their recommendations. And I looked and I shopped and I never really got around to pulling the trigger because the choices are many and there's so many different types of telescopes and things. And I pretty much knew what I wanted. But what I want is, well, it's expensive and you really want to make the right choice. So I finally took the plunge, but I took the cheap route for now. Okay. I just want to get my feet wet. And what I got was an entry-level Celestron, and I got what they call in the telescope world a light bucket. I got a light bucket, which is a different type of telescope, and you've seen them, and it's a big tube, and you look in it backwards. You look at the top. You're not down at the bottom, looking. No, it's different. And so it's designed to collect as much light as possible. And these are used generally, I mean, it's a telescope, so you can look at the moon or whatever and stuff. But it is also designed to look into deep space, at nebula and galaxies and things that are way far out there. And you need to collect as much light as possible and get it sucked into this thing. So I got one of those. And a total entry level, I think it's called the 127. You can look it up. It's not expensive, but it's enough for me to go and check things out. All right. And again, just to get my feet wet. And I know that once you kind of wet your beak a little bit into this, it gets costly and it's addictive and it's fun. So there you go. I'll do something nicer later on, but out here in the desert, there is no light pollution. And the sky is just unbelievable. Man, it's just all right there in your face. I just love it. And 2 nights ago, Eric gets here, and 2 nights ago, I broke it out for the first time. And I pointed it right. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't. I kind of got the spotting scope sort of dialed in. I've got to do more of that later, but anyway, I pointed at the brightest light in the sky, and I pretty much knew that it was either Jupiter or Saturn, and it turned out to be Jupiter. And now the planet looked amazing, right? And I've got an amplifier lens and things, so and I looked at it with the normal lens. It was pretty cool, man. I'm like, wow, it's color, right? And then I used the magnifying lens on it and 3 times magnifier. And Jupiter's like, it's right there. But it wasn't the planet that was amazing. It was the moons of Jupiter that blew my mind. And, so you're looking, you can see it. It's, the brightest star in the sky, and it's Jupiter, and it's a planet. But you don't see the moons of Jupiter with the naked eye. Look at it through the telescope, and there it is, man. And I didn't count them, but there's probably 5 or 6 in a perfect orbiting plane. So there's Jupiter, and it's just like in a perfect line, orbiting Jupiter. Just man, the orbiting plane, absolutely amazing. Now, we all know that, Jupiter's got a ton of moons, but it's a whole other thing to see them all lined up like that, right? And Jupiter's got 50, 60, 70, 80 moons, whatever it is. But I've already got a few places picked out in the desert, and I can't wait to get out there. I mean, we're already in the desert without light pollution, but there are spots out there where there is nothing at all. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Nothing for miles, and there, you just look up and it's the Milky Way right above you. And the night sky out there is stunning. So I'll keep everybody posted, but that was pretty cool. And this all ties into Eric and I, the Awakening Man, this weekend. But the telescope is the setup. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about tonight is this. Our UFO community is being forced to work within the system. That's right. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. You see, the system, whichever one you want to pick, it doesn't matter, right? The system runs by its own rules. And right now, the system has taken over the delivery of the UFO or UAP data, which seems pretty cool at first. But that delivery of info is out of our hands, right? And our community doesn't know any of the people in control of this information. We pretty much never have. And we know this. And trying to penetrate this veil has always proved to be impossible. Now, many have tried and continue to try. But in all honesty, those attempts have failed. Now, we find ourselves being forced to work within their rules. It's their game. And for the first time, there is absolutely nothing we can do about it. We can't speed things up. We can't get names. We can't get dates, data, nothing. In fact, we have to wait on them. All of them. This is their system, and we now have to work within it. You see, us, the UFO community, we don't work within a system. We've kind of wanted it. And we've wanted the recognition and all of that stuff. We've wanted the man to cave in and start talking to us. And although it's finally happening, or it appears to be, we found out really quick that the UFO game is theirs. We are merely players. It's their ball and bat. It's their field of dreams. They've got it all. So I'll say it again. Ufology is now forced to work within the system. If we want to play ball, and we just don't want to do that. We never have. This community are a bunch of rebels. This community is a bunch of outcasts, cowboys and cowgirls who have always worked against the system. It's what we do. You see, those who have been at this for a while, who have dedicated their lives in pursuit of the truth about UFOs, they do it without, for the most part, they do it without consideration of money or fame. And trust me, there is no money. For most, going to a convention to speak, it costs money. It does. And the majority of these conferences, the majority are small. And even the few larger ones out there, and they have 25, 30, 40, 50 speakers. 2 or 3 of those speakers are there maybe making a little bit of dosh on the side. The majority are getting paid $250, right? $500 for 3 days. And you have to get there. You have to work and do everything. You have to bring your stuff. You have to bring the books that you paid for in advance. Nobody's got T-shirts or anything like that. You have to eat for 3 days, 3 or 4 meals a day. You have to eat the day before and the day after. That's 5 days. And trust me, the majority of the names and the people that you know are not making any money at this. They pay to attend a conference, to speak at a conference. For most, writing a book takes time. And you have all of the years of research, all of the years of commitment, just to sell a few hundred copies. Amortize that over a daily basis and after the cost of the books and everything else, and you're rolling in, and you're making, over 2 or 3 years of work and effort, you profit $20, and throw that into 700 days of work. It's pennies, right? And that's it. That's even if you're lucky. You have thousands of dollars invested that is never recouped. It just doesn't work that way. And that is the UFO community. And that community is not ever going to work within the system. Most researchers and authors on the subject, most of them have a day job. And all of their spare time is spent on finding answers and hopefully getting that info back to you, because they do it for the community. They could have given up many times to the safety of a career and spending their weekends with friends and family. But no, they have chosen a very unsafe and unsecure route. And these rebels don't work well within the system. In fact, right now, they are not waiting around for the next UAPTF report. They're not. Their mission continues, as it should, outside of the system. Now, that is not to say that they don't appreciate the report or the efforts of, say, Lou Elizondo or Chris Mellon. They do. But they are not going to stop what they are doing and wait around for the next report to drop. No, that's not what they're going to do. They will continue to do what they do outside of the system. When I did the interview a couple of months ago for the BBC, they kept asking me over and over, they kept asking me if the UAPTF report would vindicate me and others in the UFO community who have been working at this for decades. And my answers never changed. I said repeatedly, I'm serious, that the UAPTF report will not say anything about ET or little green men. And this surprised the reporter for the BBC. And I could tell that it wasn't what she wanted to hear, or the BBC. That wasn't what they were doing. I told them that the UFO community will take whatever comes, for sure, but it will not stop the work that we do, no matter what is in the report. And I stand by that today. Now, yeah, it turns out that I was right. It does. But that isn't what is most important. What is important is that most of the serious researchers in our community were also right. They've been at this for a very long time, working against the system, fighting it. And we all pretty much knew that there was no way that the man was going to just drop trow and suddenly just go full on ET, right? And then there is this other very serious situation, and that is the millions of people out there who bet the farm that the ODNI was about to disclose the goods, that ET was here. In fact, most were so sure that they butted heads and fought with everyone who disagreed with them. They were absolutely sure that on June 25th, the fight would be over. Well, we all know that that didn't happen, right? Well, something else did happen. The UFO UAP conversation in the media stopped overnight. Gone are the days of the nightly coverage. And you got used to it, didn't you? The system decided to pump the brakes. That's right. That's why the UFO community can't work within the system. We don't have any control over it. We don't know who the puppet masters are. We don't know who's making the decisions. We don't know what's going on in each agency, in each division, in each branch of the military, and what they are doing, how they are cooperating. You know, and we don't know anything. We cannot do anything. John Greenwald, Freedom of Information Act, that's as close as we have got. And even he gets denied. And there's nothing that he can do. Oh, he can appeal, right? But there's nothing that he can do. Oh, hold on for a second. This is very interesting. I'll call you during the break. Period. Yeah, I'm running solo tonight because it's Labor Day. Period. So, hey, comma. You want to call in? We can have a chat. It would be great. Period. That was Elizondo. I swear. He said, Twitter says I should call in. Okay, now, back to June 25th, right? So many thought that the ODNI was just going to cave and drop trow. And we all know that that didn't happen, right? Well, something else did, and I need to reiterate. The media coverage stopped. And this is exactly why we don't work well within the system. The excitement, the buildup, the intensity of it all. And yes, the fun, it all stopped. The media needs a reason for the hype. They didn't have a reason anymore. And they were cool with it as long as there was a suspense that could continue. But the report pretty much said it all for them. And the media isn't interested in the long game. They are a 60-second news cycle. They're not going to cover the UFO subject every night for the next 90 days for the next UAP task force update to drop. It's not going to happen. It's not that kind of party. And the system knows this. And the UFO community isn't going to wait around for them. The UFO community, we're just going to continue what we do. And we've managed to do it quite well over the years. Haven't we? Think about that. So if I had a crystal ball, I would say this, that over the next few months, leading up to the new year, we can probably expect a few things. And one of them, probably, will be a very benign explanation coming from the military, specifically the Navy, about those 3 videos and the Tic Tac. And it won't have anything to do with ET. Number 2, I think that there will be something from science. Something will be announced about a planet or a system out there in our Milky Way that shows signs of life. And 3, we are going to have an amazing civilian sighting with video and witnesses. I think that's all going to happen in the next 3 or 4 months. I have many reasons to say all of these things. But first, the Navy is not going to allow the Tic Tac to continue to be unanswered. It's just not going to happen. And they are going to try and go completely case closed. That's what they're going to attempt to do. They will have an explanation for what Fravor and everyone else witnessed. And yes, it'll cause a little uproar in the UFO circles, claims of a grand conspiracy, and it very well may be. But that's what the system wants. Ultimately, that's the game they are playing. Now, I'm going to take a quick break. I've got a lot more to discuss tonight. And, we'll see. Maybe we can get Lou on the show. And we'll see. I'm going to take a quick break right here. And that caught me by surprise. That's not, no, that wasn't planned. I didn't even talk to Lou today. But there you go. It's Labor Day. And I wanted everybody to take the night off. So let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, my special guest is me. And I've got a lot to say. Had a great weekend, too. An amazing weekend. So many things happened. I will get into all of that. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can do that. Post your questions in one of the chat rooms. Hashtag F2BQ. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. KGRADB.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Happy Labor Day, everyone. And I've got a lot of things to say, and I just decided to go solo tonight and vent. I was just going to vent, man, and I was just getting warmed up. And as all of you know, I got a text. I got a text from this guy. Hey, Lou, how you doing?
Jimmy, I'm doing great. Thanks very much. Great to talk to you.
Man, happy Labor Day. And what are you doing on this show on Labor Day? You should be drinking and grilling and driving your Jeep.
Well, I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I'm not driving my Jeep. I'm not grilling. And I'm not drinking a beer. Instead, we're having a wonderful conversation with your great audience.
And you know what's really fun? And thank you, Lou. Look, please back me up on this. This is complete improv right now. This was not pre-planned in any way. And I mean, truth be told, I was just browsing Twitter. I know a lot of people think that I don't look at it, and a couple of folks were like, "Man, it'd be great if Lou called in." And so, yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, what the hell? Why not? Why not? And now this is, I want everybody else to know, last night I was on Tracy Austin's show and for a couple of hours, and it was great. And there are a lot of people out there that know that you and I have an open channel of communication, and we do talk. And people want to know what you and I talk about. And I absolutely agree with them. If you have a way to me and find out whatever you can find out, you're going to ask those questions. And so last night during the show, if the audience didn't catch the show, last night I texted Lou. I said, man, I'm on the air talking smack about you right now. and so, but that was the first time you and I had communicated in a few days now. And but here we are tonight, and the stuff, the secret stuff, Lou, that you and I talk about would probably bore them, because we talk about cars, the camouflage fashion industry. We talk about
the important stuff, right?
Yeah. We talk about normal things too. It's not all UFOs and UAPs. But it's been a while. It's been a few weeks since you've been on the show. And I actually do have a few things that we can talk about, or that I can ask you that I've heard chatter about, but you and I haven't talked about. If you don't mind, is that cool? I don't want to catch you off guard.
Yeah, sure. But no. Hey, listen. I mean, everybody knows. Yeah. Look, anybody can ask anything they want. Free country, and it is what it is. And if I can't answer it, I'll say I can't answer it, and if I can, I certainly will. Okay.
Well, the first thing, I know that you, I haven't heard it directly, but you made a couple of statements. Maybe not. I may be wrong here. but that we are in a 3-month or a 90-day cycle with the ODNI and the UAP task force in bringing an updated version of the report back to Congress. Is this happening?
I did say that. You're absolutely right, Jimmy. In fact, the new bill stipulates that after the 180-day report, what happened was probably the government's worst nightmare, and that Congress got a taste of the information and said, you know what, this report is good, but it's insufficient. So guess what? We want to report now every 90 days. And oh, by the way, not only do we want to report every 90 days, but we want to report on everything that you haven't reported on to us yet in these reports. So that's a true statement, and that's a pretty big deal.
The other part of this, and part of my rant tonight, was that the UFO community is being forced into working with the system, a system that they're not used to and that they don't have any control of. And of course, I'm speaking about, Washington, D.C. and what is going on right now.
Sure.
We don't have any contacts. We don't have any control of the day. We are now, playing by their rules. And the UFO community has always been built on working against the system, right? And being those rebels. And it's an uncomfortable position that we are in, but it is you and those around you, and Chris Mellon certainly, that know how difficult the system may be. And you're the one that is going to be navigating this with the best of your abilities. But am I wrong in looking at it that way?
No, Jimmy, I think you're right. But I think the other part of the equation is that the system itself is working against the system. So, when your enemy is working hard to defeat itself, the old saying goes, don't stop, right? Let it keep doing it. In a very much similar fashion, you finally have these elements within the government that really want disclosure. They really want the answers, and the antibodies are forming inside the government. And I think those voices that you referenced, the system, if you will, that everybody was kind of against, is now becoming a minority resistance. And more people look. You have people not just like Senator Marco Rubio, but now you've got Congressman Tim Burchett and many others now that are stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what, I want answers and I want them now. And so the system is finally beginning to work. And my suggestion is, what the UFO community should do is champion those individuals that are stepping out and doing that, and then giving, if you will, an audience to those people that are in the shadows that want to come out, but they're not quite sure if they really want to come out yet because they saw what happened to me, they saw what happened to a few other folks. So I think it's changing, and I hope, anyways, the UFO community realizes there is a core group of individuals in our government that are really wanting to see change in a meaningful way. And those are the type of people, those are the elements that we need to be supporting. Right now, we need to be throwing a life raft. Hell, we need to be, pulling up with speedboats and saying, hey, we're here to help. What can we do? I think that's where we are right now. And I think, quote unquote, the man that we have all kind of, if you will, symbolized being part of the U.S. government apparatus is not really the man anymore. It's more of just a kind of a bully kid. And I think we're seeing those changes. I think we're seeing, you have the DOD Inspector General launching these evaluations and these inquiries in a very proactive way, in a very transparent way, that all this will be made public at some point. I mean, they can't hide it. So change is coming, and it's happening. And my suggestion to the reticent UFO community that has historically been, I hate to say victimized, but maybe that's too harsh of a word, but marginalized by the system, that system is beginning to, that Death Star that people kind of look at and say, well, the U.S. government, it's not so much a Death Star. There's factions inside that really want to do the right thing for the American taxpayer. And I think we're beginning to see that.
Now, what about something that is absolutely, apparently obvious? It's right out there in front of all of us, which is since the UAP Task Force report and all of the buildup, right, and that ended, it seems that so did the UFO coverage on television and in the news. Is that part? Is that the system getting their way and pulling back the media?
No. That's something we call battle fatigue. So what happens is if you oversaturate a topic, what happens is people start getting bored because they're not getting the immediate results that they want or that they expect or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens there is this lull. But what I've told people is, look, it's in that lull that most of the work is being done. And it comes in waves. Look, when it started with 2017, lest I remind everybody that, you had this huge article came out in the New York Times, and then there was nothing. There was nothing for a while. And then finally it took a couple years later where, they admitted the videos were real. And, they admitted this. And then it started getting Congress. And, this has been very much a wave full of crests and troughs. And we're just riding in a trough right now. But this is good because it gives the ability now for when you don't have a spotlight shining white hot on this topic, it allows for some of the meaningful stuff that's happening behind the scenes to percolate and to mature. And when it matures, these are things that are going to be very significant. And at some point when it does get out into the public sphere, people are going to say, holy smokes, actually a lot more was happening during that quiet time than during all the time we had all that noise going on.
What's the plan for getting the momentum built back up again? Are we going to run through a 90-day cycle of trying to get the media back behind this every time? No, absolutely not, Jimmy. Look, I mean, you guys have been fantastic and always keeping the heat on, but mainstream media is just waiting in the shadows. They're just waiting for another juicy tidbit, and they're going to be all over this. And you want to make sure you give them the right juicy tidbit. You got to make sure that information's vetted, that it's not classified, that no one's going to really get in trouble, and it's got to be accurate. So when they go and they validate and they verify the information that's coming out, then they've got something to sink their teeth in. And so that's part of this effort, making sure that everything is double checked and triple checked. The last thing you ever want to do is provide out some half-baked information and it turns out working against you, right? You say, oh, there's this tremendous UAP incident, when it turns out in reality, you know what, it was a balloon. And that happens all the time. So, I know people are hungry and they have this appetite. They want more and more and more. But, this isn't a matter of instant gratification. This is why I've said before, look, if you're that impatient, I've always said this is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. We've come a lot further in 3 years than we ever have before. But if you're really that impatient, look, check out and go take up the violin, go take up the piano, go pick up a hobby, and maybe check back in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and see where we are. This is a process. And if you look at this in terms of the UAP discussion over the last 70 years, I don't know how someone can't look at the last 3 years and say, yeah, we are significantly further down the playing field than we ever have been before. Is there, okay, so we have the elements that are starting to shift in the Beltway on this, but we still have those that don't want to see this change. Is there a possibility of a counterattack, a flanking move?
Of course. Yeah, that's exactly what some of the elements are waiting for. They're waiting for someone to slip up and provide some information that hasn't been fully vetted and basically be able to prove it's bogus. We have to be deliberate. We can't let our excitement and our zeal get the best of us, where now all of a sudden, we start screaming, the British are coming, or maybe that's a poor analogy, cry wolf, cry wolf.
Right.
We have to be very cautious, and we don't let our excitement get the best of us. This is a very much like a military campaign. And, there's an old saying, in the military, if it feels like you're easily winning, it's probably an ambush you're walking into. So, we want to be very deliberate, and we want to be, first and foremost, we want to do things in a legally correct manner. We don't want anybody getting in trouble, no one going to jail, no one losing their clearances, and have this discussion in a way where every time something comes out, it's movement forward that we will never have to give up that ground again.
I feel that, and I don't think I'm wrong, Lou, in saying this, but I feel that there are so many loose ends that are on the table for them. And I'm talking about Alex Dietrich or Dave Fravor or the crew of the Princeton, the Homeland Security video out of Puerto Rico, the leaked images, that George Knapp presented, and those videos, and even the Tic Tac, where they could now come out in some kind of effort to explain away the Puerto Rico video, right? To explain away the images.
To do that right now with the 3 videos. I'll tell you that much. And there's effort to say, oh, these are balloons or whatever. Let's remind though your audience for just one moment that when I was in ATIP, we were working with certain offices, very senior level offices, and they said, Lou, we haven't a freaking clue what these are. Furthermore, when the DOD itself released the videos and said, yes, these are actually DOD videos, our stamp of approval, and they actually depict UAP, we have no idea what they are. Do you think for one moment that they didn't go back to some of these other organizations and say, okay, look, we're about to put this statement out. Are you really, really sure we don't know what these are?
Exactly.
Because we're about to put the Secretary of Defense, by the way, on notice to say for the record that the very best of the best, we have no idea what these are. And of course, the answer came back as a big 0. So yes, of course, there's an attempt to come by and obfuscate and later on say, prosaic, balloons, seagulls, whatever, excuse du jour is. But one has to look at this from the long game perspective. Look at all the data that's been presented, look at everything that has happened over the last 3 years, and then make an informed decision. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and flies like a duck, chances are it's not a Cadillac, it's a duck. And so, I think there's been enough discussion. Look, Congress has been provided the classified briefings. And if you think all they've been briefed on was FLIR and Go Fast and Gimbal, you've been living on another planet. No, that's not the case. They've been given much better fidelity information. That's an indicator. I mean, in my line of work of intelligence, that's a huge indicator. Politicians don't come out for the record, who, by the way, tend by nature to be risk averse, put their credibility and possibly their not only their reputation, but their election on the line to talk about UFOs.
Right.
Unless they have enough information that's compelling enough to say, hey, guess what? These damn things are real.
There's another question that I have for you. The Department of Defense wasted no time in attacking your credibility and your statements.
Oh, sure.
And now, would they use the same tactic and go after some of the others that have come forward? And the list of names, Fravor and Alex Dietrich or Kevin Day, what have you, Gary Voorhees. Would they go and attack their character?
There's too many. Absolutely not. There's too many of them. I was an easy target because I was in OUSDI, which, by the way, now owns the task force again, right? So, surprise, surprise. So there were some people in there. I've always made it very clear that did not like me very much. You can see that I work there, and the the IG is very well aware of what's going on. So it was easy for a couple of those people, legacy people, to attack me. They were not anticipating all these other service members coming out. It's wait till it gets public that there are certain pilots that I would bring in to brief the secretary's senior staff. I mean, that's real. That actually happened. The only reason why 60 Minutes even ran the story, because they were really scared, was because someone called Mattis, and Mattis is like, yeah, that's the guy. So, it's hard to put that back in the box. And I'm not going to hold the entire Department of Defense accountable. There's only a couple individuals that are truly responsible. And by the way, this story is still evolving. Just wait till what happens in the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. And people come out like, oh man, I didn't know that. You mean so-and-so actually was with Lou briefing senior Secretary of Defense officials on this topic. Huh, well, we never knew that before. Well, guess what? Now you do.
Yeah, and I could see. I mean, they tried to and continue to use you as an example, but I could see the Navy or the Air Force or the Army. It doesn't matter. Sending a message to its servicemen and women that don't even think about discussing any of this, and here are the reasons why. And I could almost see that happening. And you're saying,
look, let
no?
me tell you, Jimmy, and I don't want to get political here, but don't look now. But the fact that the U.S. government has abandoned some of its own people right now in a particular country,
right,
as it's unfolding, the world is witnessing this. Make no mistake, they will obfuscate, and there are elements in the U.S. government that will leave our guys abandoned. They will absolutely do it. But you know what? There's also elements, whom I happen to know very well, that are doing the opposite. And they're saying, screw you, we're going to do what's right, we're going to go in, and we're going to take our people out of there, right? And it's the same type of mentality here. I think a lot of these people you're mentioning, like Alex Dietrich and Dave Fravor and Chad, all these folks, Underwood and everybody, these are warriors, man. And some of the finest that we have. If you think they're just going to roll over and take it, you're crazy. These are not those kind of people. You don't do that publicly, because the amount of backlash you would get from the military community who had the privilege of serving with some of America's finest and these heroes, if the government were to come out and do that, there'd probably be riots on the streets, to be honest with you.
Well, and and this is the other part, and I don't think that certain intelligence agencies and branches of the military don't understand the focus of the UFO community, because if any funny business was ever pulled, we would yell conspiracy, from the word go. See, this is exactly what we've always been on about, right? And I think that they know that this is visible enough now that if they tried anything funkier than what they've already done with you,
they are already in hot water for deleting my emails. There is a court order. There is an absolute protection order that has been out for some time that has said you cannot delete certain emails involving this. And you know what? They did. And they are in serious hot water for that. They're scrambling. They don't know how to deal with it. And wait till the IG tears their sink their teeth into that. Now, of course, we both know my emails aren't really gone. They're never really gone. But the fact that he would even say something like that is totally ridiculous and preposterous. But is
it going to be like a Jason Bourne situation where you're going to see a change and suddenly the emails appear? Oh, they were on a backup drive. Oh,
yeah, right. Oh, actually, you know what? It turns out that Joe Blow and Jane Smith over here actually had the emails that Lou sent all along. And, yeah, right. So that could be. And I honestly, for their sake, I hope it's the case, because I do love my beloved Department of Defense, and they're not doing themselves any favors by doing what they've been doing. The last 3 years have been a complete debacle. They have flip-flopped I think last count, about 11 times at this point, and the public optics aren't good. And they're just losing credibility on literally every single thing, whether it's a UFO topic or Afghanistan or climate change or COVID. It's just been a huge train wreck. They can't seem to get their act straight on anything. And so, I don't want to necessarily add fuel to the fire. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to offer them a solution, a way to get out of this pickle that they have themselves in. It pains my heart to see this, but at the same time, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner for decades, and they've got to figure out a way to get out of it.
Well, and again, thank you for this surprise conversation tonight. That it was just totally awesome. But I'm not going to let you go without a quick question. If it's every 90 days, and June 25th was the release of the UAPTF, well, then that's July, August, September. Are we expecting an updated something on September 25th?
Not until probably beginning. That clock starts probably FY22, fiscal year 22, which begins technically in October 1st. But of course, there's going to be claims we need funding, and because of a continuing resolution in Congress, funding probably won't be, available till maybe November, December. And of course, that's when the clock would start. So it's, I don't want to mislead your listeners thinking, oh my gosh, now every 90 days, starting last June, we're going to get reports. Not necessarily. Those reports are due to Congress. They can ask for extensions. They may be classified. There may be a whole lot of we don't know every 90 days. It's a step, certainly a big step in the right direction, but we're nowhere near the finish line.
Well, how are we going to know, Lou, if a classified report was delivered to Congress? Right,
Congress will tell you.
Okay.
I think you have people like Marco Rubio and Tim Burchett and folks like Senator Harry Reid that will tell the American people. They're going to say, we have a report that was provided to us. And here's what I can tell you. That's what the legislators, that's what they do. That's part of their job, right, is to inform the American people. These are folks that make laws for our country, and it's the job of the executive branch to carry out those laws. And I think we have enough legislators now, we are a critical mass, where, they genuinely want to know. And by the way, so do their constituents. Their constituents are demanding to know. They're writing letters. Hey, what the heck is going on? So, they're not deaf to this. They are doing the right thing for America, for sure.
Now, what about, so is there verbiage, is there a breakout in the new budget that kicks off October 1st, like there was with the UAP task force report, and that verbiage and the deadlines and how it was to be presented? Is that in the new budget?
I don't want to lead the cart before the horse. There are efforts going on to make sure that there are several quote-unquote hooks to continue this effort. But I want to be careful not to go too far in the business of Congress, because I don't want to overstep my bounds. Congress deliberates a lot, and there's a lot of horse trading back and forth, at the 11th hour thing. So what I don't want to do is state something that in the end winds up getting modified slightly here and there. So, but what I can say is that I think there's genuine interest and concern. There are several parallel efforts underway to make sure that Congress remains fully informed.
I don't know how the system works. I don't know how long it takes to learn the system and to be there.
Well, saying it works is being generous, but okay.
Lou Elizondo, happy Labor Day, my friend. Great speaking with you. Now go spend some time with the family, and tomorrow you got to go back to work.
Yes, sir. You too. And everybody, thanks very much for everything, and look forward to our next chat.
There you go. Lou Elizondo. Thank you, Lou. Go enjoy your evening now.
Take care. Thanks much.
Lou Elizondo. Surprise. That was just completely off the cuff. And there you go. All right. I didn't have to run completely solo tonight. This is Fade to Black. I'm yours, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the Expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person Expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, my guest is me. That's right. And this is where, the part of the show where I talk about My Patriot Supply. You need to be prepared. I'm prepared. You have no idea how prepared I am. I am prepared. I've got everything. I've got those big totes from Home Depot. The black ones with the yellow tops on them. I've got like 4 of those stuffed. I've got everything in there. I've got batteries and lanterns and propane, the Bunsen burner gel things, and a portable stove, and pots and pans and batteries and USB solar chargers and everything. I've got water purification systems. I've got all the food. I've got enough to survive for probably 3 or 4 months if the doo-doo hits the fan. You need to be prepared too. It's all simple to do. Click on the link in the video description box below. It's right there. Preparewithjimmy.com. head over to the website, click. We've got great sales going on. Go and get prepared. You don't want to be caught. And if something happens, you don't want your kids coming up to you, are we prepared? Do we have a plan? And you don't, I was going to, but I didn't. No, you don't want to have that. You don't. And I went through that. And I'm not ever going to be in that position again. So just be prepared. You never know. And maybe you've got some late night munchies. You go, man, I'm going to go make some of that beef stroganoff tonight. Yeah, you can do it. Go to preparewithjimmy.com. All right? Great sales going on. The links are below. You can head over to all of our social media and, of course, jimmychurchradio.com. The links are right there. And there you go. Okay, so back to what this show is about tonight. I was talking about the system. And very, very strange, very happy that Lou was hanging out on Twitter and popped me that quick text and said, hey, yeah, absolutely. Because some of the statements that I made earlier, I absolutely turned around and asked Lou his opinion on these things. And I am convinced, and I think that Lou confirmed what I was trying to say. And it's very simple. If I had a crystal ball, I would say that there has to be factions inside of the Beltway in Washington, D.C. that don't want disclosure, that don't want the communication that's happening. They don't want somebody like Dave Fravor out there talking about it. They don't. And these 3 videos, the Tic Tac, the Gimbal, the Go Fast, those have been hanging out there with question marks above it. And I could see, I'm saying expect it, that they're going to come out, they're going to give you a benign explanation for this. It's our tech, it's this, it's that, and that's why Fravor saw what he saw, and it's because the system works. Or I don't know what they're going to say. But it will be a benign explanation, and it's going to come from the military, probably specifically from the Navy, about those 3 videos and the Tic Tac, right? And it's not going to, their explanation is going to have nothing to do with ET, and I said earlier that another thing that is going to happen in the next 3 months is my crystal ball, and I'm never wrong. I'm usually really close on this, and I feel that science is going to bust out with something. I really do. Something is going to be announced about a planet or system out there in the Milky Way that shows signs of life. I'm telling you, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. That we have too much tech. And 3, I think that there's going to be an amazing civilian, not military, a civilian sighting with video that is potentially going to involve thousands of people, not 20 or 30 people hanging out with me doing a sky watch. I'm talking about something nuts. I think it's going to happen. I really do. Now, I have many reasons to say all of these things, but the Navy is not going to allow the Tic Tac to be unanswered. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. And they are going to try and go completely case closed. And I said this earlier, but that's what they're going to try to do. They don't want this hanging out there. And I don't know how they're going to deal with Fravor and what everybody else witnessed and what they've, spoken about. I am talking about Kevin Day, and I'm talking about Gary Voorhees and, the Princeton and members of that battle group and some of the statements that they have made. And I know that there is going to be controversy in the UFO community. And just like I said to Lou, it's an opportunity for us once again to say, hey, if anything that goes down, we are going to say this is another example of a conspiracy. And this is very well planned. This is what they do. And it very well may be a conspiracy. There are members of that group, and I keep saying the Beltway, and that means everything, the agencies and the Department of Defense, that don't want this. They don't. and causing fracture and uproar inside of the UFO community is exactly what they want, right? So there's that. But I want to go back to science. And I think there's going to be a discovery. And the truth is an obvious one. And that we are getting really, really good at seeing things in deep space. I've got a frigging light bucket telescope and with this little primitive, little tiny telescope. Well, it's not tiny, but cheap. I can see things. Science has got tech. Science has got tech that is leapfrogging itself right now. They can't keep up with the tech. And the Milky Way and the universe is just too big. And we know, they know that we are not alone. It's a numbers game. I talk about it all the time. And science knows this. And they are trying to find life beyond our solar system. It's their job. It's what they want. And they are going to find it. They will find signs of life. And it's going to happen very, very soon. Expect it. All right. Now, the system, keep going back to the system wants this to happen. And well, science is happy to work within that system. It's what they do. They go and they get funding and they write research up and they apply for grants and they work within the system. They work within the rules. They are trying to find this. The system wants this to happen because it will support their other agendas. I'm just telling you, my crystal ball is polished up. All right? Now, just like the high tech in the science community, the common people of the earth now have access to some very amazing technology. Right? We all have it. This thing, it's over here. This cell phone right now. I have an iPhone 12 Super Max or whatever they call it. That's what this is. It's got 3 cameras, right? Or I think those are 3 cameras. It's 3 something on there. And this thing has night vision. It's incredible. You shake it too much, it dials 911. But this is a computer. Right? And we all have this and we all know what it does. That's just a little slice of the tech that we have. It goes without saying that the cameras on our phones are about as good as it gets. It really is. And today, 4K video, the Samsung Galaxy S21 and the camera and what you can do. You can shoot a Hollywood motion picture. You can shoot a network TV series on a Samsung, and if you didn't have that, you could do it with this. It's really that good. And today, everyone has one of these, right? If we go back to the good old days, right, and we talk about this, when everybody seemed to have a 35 millimeter camera, right? Expensive one. That was a camera. You had to have film in it. You had to carry it with you. You had to be prepared. That's the old days. And when we go back and say, well, how come, we just never got that definitive photograph. We never got that definitive video. Well, you know what? There was a time before cell phones when a video camera was expensive and you had to have that with you. You've always got this with you, but you didn't go to work with a video camera on your waist. You didn't do that. You didn't drive around in your car with a video camera. You didn't drive around. You didn't go show up to work with a Pentax 35 millimeter with a telephoto lens. You didn't. That stuff was left at home. So if anything happened, you didn't have the ability to shoot video or to take a picture. You didn't. And I know I'm stating the obvious, but that's the way that it was. Today, it's different. And not only do we have this tech with us, right? We also have, you can go anywhere. You can go online. You can go to Amazon and you can buy all kinds of devices and gadgets to to measure with, right? Light and heat, thermal imaging, whatever. This stuff is available to anybody today. It wasn't like that just 10 short years ago. We all have access to them. Now, things pop in and out of the sky all of the time, sometimes very quickly. And the odds of capturing something are very, very low. And when I come back after the break, I'll talk specifically about I got caught. I got caught by surprise. My cell phone was in my hand. I didn't tape. I didn't record. I didn't capture the image. It happened too quick. And but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There are too many of these out there. And just expect it. There are too many things in the sky all the time. We know this. We've all seen it. And some of these videos are cool, but there is going to be one, and I think that moment's going to get caught. And I keep saying this, it's going to be thousands of witnesses, not just 2 or 3 or a dozen. This will be out of the military and the system's control. Expect it. And with everything else that is happening right now, this is just another piece of the puzzle. It's about to bust loose. I'm telling you, in the next 3 months, I'm not a some kind of fortune teller, some kind of prophet, somebody that's got visions of the future. No, Nostradamus. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just telling you, my crystal ball is usually right. Okay? Now, I'll be totally honest with all of you. Let me hit this coffee. River Moon coffee. I'm just going to say this. Had the beer can been caught on tape, been caught on video, captured on a cell phone, it would be case closed. Case closed. We'd be moving on to a whole nother conversation, because that beer can wasn't the Tic Tac. That beer can and a video like that being shot with multiple witnesses is not the gimbal. It's not the go fast. It's not that Homeland Security video. It's not the flying toasters. It's not any of that. That was insane. And that was in the middle of the day. It was large. It was there. And had we caught that, it'd be case closed. I'm serious. But it happened so fast that the opportunity passed us by, passed me by. And I thought it was going to be up there forever. And even right there, I have my binoculars on a tripod right next to it. Bam, my cell phone was sitting right there. I didn't grab it. Steve Murillo right next to me. He's got a cell phone. He's got a Samsung. He didn't shoot video. And 15 seconds. 15 seconds. It passed us by to the count of 15 seconds. So, no, it's not case closed, right? It's just a story with some witnesses. But that moment will get caught on camera. It will. I just think about it all the time. It was the Holy Grail moment, the middle of the day. It was right there. It was the ultimate UFO sighting. Didn't catch it. And it was only 15 seconds long. But I'm serious. There are too many of these out there in the world. The beer can's going to happen again. And it's going to get caught. It's going to get caught. Just like anything else. It's a numbers game. Eventually it'll happen. And every day that goes by brings us closer to that moment. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And the system doesn't like this either. They don't. They know. They know the citizens of the world are going to see something. It's going to get captured. It's going to be thousands of witnesses, and it's going to be out of their control. Never have and never will work within the system. It's not what we do. It's not. It's really that simple. Did the UFO community need the UAPTF report? No, we didn't. Sure, it's nice. The suspense and the fun was great while it lasted. We are playing the long game, just like Lou stated. And the UAPTF was just another thing in a long line of very serious chess moves. And I get that. The report may turn out to be one of the most important pieces on the board, but right now it isn't. Right now it's just a pawn setting up the real drama that is about to unfold. And that's the truth. And what that is, and if you think about it, that I think that Lou and Chris are up to, right? They knew that the report wasn't going to be the final word on the UFO or the UAP issue. They knew this. They still do. And Lou has stated many times that this thing is going to take a while. He just stated it right now, live on the air, because he is working against a system that he knows all too well. All of us just have to be patient. But that may not be what some in the UFO community want to hear. And it's tough for me to say it. But here, the UFO community, hang on for a second. That was the police. Wow. Had nothing to do with me, though. That was interesting. No big deal. No big deal. I just saw what I saw. I was like, what? Uh-oh. But it turned out to be nothing. But that was interesting. I would never get up like, I'll be right back. But I was... I've got a window in front of me here in the bunker, right here. And I watched him walk past. It was like, what the? I didn't know if I was coming back on the air. Were you just out at Edwards Air Force Base? I swear. Okay. All right. Now, I cannot believe that just happened. That for a second, you saw me, I panicked. I was like, is that the Popo? And it was. All right. Now, where was I? What? I can't. What was I talking about? Oh, the UAPTF report. And I was talking about Lou and Chris and the long game and about being patient. And yeah, that's exactly what just happened right there. That's exactly what just happened, man. They looked in the window. Man, I about peed on myself, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. But anyway. Oh, man, I got to get focused. I've got to get focused. I forget what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Okay. The long game and being patient. That's what I was talking about. And I don't like saying those words, but the UFO community, that's where I was. Okay, let me get my mind back where I was. The UFO community is used to, okay, it's next year. Disclosure is going to be next year. And next year we have to wait. And how many times have I said that on the air here? All right, here we go. 2016 is going to be the year. Here we go. Raw team. 2017 is going to be the year. Let's go. Let's go. Here we are. It is, and I cannot believe that I'm sitting here rolling into 2022. 2022. We've already, so much has happened that, and Lou's right, 2017 and the bombshell that was the New York Times report and Leslie Kean and Ralph Blumenthal and we've already gone through, rinsed out, and washed to the stars. To the Stars Academy. To the stars. It came and went. Think about that. But we are used to it. It may not be what we want to hear, but if you are new to the game, and you thought that all you had to do was like click your heels 3 times, I want disclosure, and it was going to happen, poof, disclosure is here. Well, no. And all I have to say is welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Because this party is hurry up and wait some more. And this is what the system wants. So how do we speed things up? Well, we don't. We have to leave it to the professionals like Lou, who have been dealing with DC and the DOD for a long time and know how to navigate through the madness. I keep saying that. You are literally navigating through the madness. As for us, we just need to keep doing what we've always done. Stick together, talk, share knowledge, and press on. All right? All right, I'm going to take a quick break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, my guest is me. That's right. Well, and Lou Elizondo. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with me.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to wtih.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's wtih.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What a great night on the show. The night that the Popo showed up. And, I kind of freaked. So here in the bunker, I have a window in front of me that, it's got blinds on it. I close it. Nobody can see in. You can't see anything around here. But I feel better that way. Well, tonight I left it open, and two cops walked by the window. I see the badge, and I'm like, what? And so one is knocking on the door, the other one is and he looks right in the window. He's looking at me talking on the mic, and I was like, oh man. He was as surprised as I was, and he just did this double take, and anyway, it turned out to be nothing. But that was wow, that was pretty cool. All kinds of things rushed into my head immediately, and it turned out to be none of that. But anyway, I don't want to say what it was about. It's funny. Anyway, that's not even the point, which rolls back to this past weekend. Eric Awakening Man was here, which is why I thought that they were here. That, because we were out snooping around at Edwards, maybe my license plate. I thought that that's what it was about. And Eric, so we did this sky watch, night watch in my backyard, and Eric literally goes, dude, man, get your laser. You got that good laser. And I was like, dude, we don't need to be pointing the laser in this neighborhood out of the backyard. Not yet. All right. I'm still the new guy in the neighborhood. Let's not do that. Let's not attract attention. But that's what I was thinking all of this was about. Anyway, so Eric is here. Now let me back up and talk about what happened this weekend. I need to turn the clock back, and it was probably about 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. I'm staying in a hotel. I'm looking at property here in the Mojave. And so I had a bunch of appointments scheduled and things with a realtor. And I walk out in front of the hotel, and my plan was to go and pick up some food. And so I'm standing out in front, and I'm looking, and I know that Edwards is in front of me, right? And I keep looking at it on Google Earth, and I know, where it's at. And it's just right there. It's too close. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna drive over to Edwards. And I looked on Google Maps, and I saw a set of streets that I could drive on, and the closest street that was south of Edwards. And that was my plan. So I go, and I was just like, right then, I just jumped in the Jeep and took off. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm following my navigation, and I drive down. You can look at all of this on Google Earth. It's simple enough to do, and you can see what street I was on. If you look at Edwards, and you go south, there's only one street down there before, it's desert everywhere. So I find the street. It was a bit of a drive. It was longer than what I thought it was, probably 10 miles or so. But I'm out in the middle of the desert, and it's dark, and I drive all the way down to the end of the street where it T-boned. And I make a U-turn, I go back, and then I make another U-turn. On the other side of the street, there was a spot, some dirt, and so I pulled the Jeep over to there. On the other side of the street, there wasn't a place to pull over. So I pull over, I make another U-turn. My Jeep is sitting across the street. I get out, and I walk across the street, and I know by looking at my phone that I'm looking directly at Edwards. And I could see it off in the distance, and I see some lights and things, and I know that that's what I'm looking at. I'm just standing there looking at Edwards and checking out the sky, and I'm in the middle of no traffic, no cars, no nothing. I'm in the desert, and I got the desert sounds and all of that stuff. In front of me is a fence, and I didn't see no trespassing signs or anything, but I was assuming at that time, I know now, that was Edwards that was directly in front of me. But I could see the fence, and there was like barbed wire on the top. It came up to here. It wasn't a tall fence. It came up to about here, but it's in front of me, and it's got barbed wire on the top. But I'm standing on the side of the road, and I'm facing Edwards, and right in front of me, just out of nowhere, and it was like right here, like 10 degrees above the horizon, just right in front of me, I see there was a couple of lights over there that I was assuming were radio towers or something like that. And again, I don't know, right? It's dark and it's the desert, but I could see that. But right in between these two lights, just right in front of me, this thing lights up. And it flutters. It flutters, and I see it flutter, and I thought, oh, what is that, right? And it catches my attention. And, again, I'm looking against the black sky, and then it flutters again. But the second time it fluttered, this ring of lights started on the left side of it. I didn't know it was the left side at the time, but it goes like 1 second, 2 seconds, but it goes around, and I could see it's circular. I was like, wow, that's what? And I'm literally like freaked out. And then it goes black, and I can't see anything. When it goes black, there's nothing there. I can only see the night sky. And I just keep my eyes there, and my stupid cell phone is in my hand. It's right here at my side. And then all of a sudden, again, unexpectedly, it just caught me by surprise. It starts to flutter. It does this thing, and then goes a second time. And now it didn't catch me as much by surprise as it did the first time. I could now see the lights in the front are bright, but as it went around the back, it's the back side of this thing. But I could see the shape because the light is coming down from the backside, and I could see that it was round. Now I'm tripping, and I grab my cell phone, and I get it ready, and I set it on video, and I'm good to go. I'm waiting for this thing to happen again, and I'm just standing here like this, just like waiting. I stand there for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Nothing. I get him. I walk back to the Jeep, and I head back, and I am thinking as I'm driving up this desert road in the middle of nowhere, I'm trying to debunk it in my own mind. And I was thinking it's over the runways, it's over Edwards, maybe it's it's warning lights on the top of a radio tower so planes won't hit it, it's circular, maybe it's a radar dish with lights on it, I'm thinking all of these things. But it was strange. So I drive back, I get my fast food, and I go to bed. The next day, which was Sunday, and I had my appointment with this realtor at like 2 o'clock. My memory says 2. And it's early in the morning, and I had breakfast and at the hotel, and I'm standing out front, and I was thinking about just driving around the town and looking at different neighborhoods and stuff as I waited, and that was my plan. And I walk out, and I'm looking back over at Edwards, and I'm thinking about that thing. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to that spot. And so I do. I just jump in the Jeep, and I take off, and I follow my GPS. I get back onto the same street, and I'm driving, and it seemed longer. And also the other part was, as I was driving out there the second time during the day, I realized how remote it was. I knew that it was the middle of the desert and things, but when you get out there and you're in the daytime and you're looking around and thinking to yourself, dude, that was crazy last night. Anything could have happened out here and nobody would have known. But anyway, so I drive out, and I'm coming up, and I could see on my GPS, I'm coming up to this T-bone, and I know it's like right there, and then I pull over. I can see the T in front of me, and I pull over. I see my tracks from the night before. I pull the Jeep over in the same spot, and I walk across the street to where I was. I see my footprints in the dirt from the night before, and I look up. And I was expecting to see, I'm looking right at Edwards. Now I can see everything. I can see the hangars and stuff. It's maybe 2 miles away. But there's no radio towers. What I was expecting to see during the day wasn't there. And I was expecting something tall with a round thing on the top. Nothing. There was nothing there. And that's when I started to wonder about what I saw. Okay. Now, I came back, I went on the show, and I told everybody about this. Now, Eric shows up, and we have our sky watch and things, and we saw some strange things. And one of the things that we saw directly over Edwards, from the back of my house, you can, Edwards is right there. And we saw this twinkling light. And I don't know how to explain it, but it was cycling very fast. Cycling green, red, and white. Green, red, and white. Like fast. Not airplane lights, blink, blink, blink. No, this was like, and you could see this pattern. And but it wasn't there. And I noticed it a couple of 2 nights in a row, right over Edwards. And so Eric and I, we're with night vision, and we're looking at everything, a telescope in Jupiter, and we're looking at everything in the sky. We know everything that's up there. And if you've ever done a sky watch, after you do this for a couple hours, you know everything that's in the sky. And suddenly, this twinkling thing appears above Edwards. And I go, Eric, there it is. And holy crap. So now we're looking at it. We're looking at it in the binoculars. We're looking at it in the night vision. And you can see that it's blinking, and that there was also a shape to it. And it was fascinating. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm feeling man-made. I think that maybe it's some kind of drone that is being tested out there or being flown out there, but it was staying in one spot right above it. It wasn't going up, not down, sideways. You could see the stars moving in the sky. Everything is moving across. This thing is staying right there. So, and Eric took some pictures, and I know he posted them up there. He might have even shot some video. I looked at it with my night vision for what seemed like an hour, and I have these really good binoculars, these stargazing Celestron binoculars, and I'm looking at it through there, and so this is what it looked like to me. Again, I should have put the telescope on it. If I see it again, I will. But it looked like, to me, it was 3 lights, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. And they were just going, brrr, right? That's what I saw. Eric said that he felt like it was a platform of some kind. And it may be. I don't know. You can't see any, but these 3 lights. Oh, also, in the binoculars, he felt that he was seeing blue and maybe purple and yellow as well. I didn't see that, or maybe I did, but the red, the green, and the white, it's like this Christmas UAP. Crazy. So we wake up the next day, and we're thinking about breakfast, and it's early in the morning, and we start talking about Edwards. I said, man, you want to go? You want to go to the spot? And he goes, let's go. All right. So 3 minutes after I said, do you want to go? We were in the Jeep, and we're heading out to Edwards. And I told him the exit, approximately the exit. There's only so many on the 14. The approximate exit and the direction. And it was the street that was the only street south of Edwards. Again, you can look all of this up on Google. I don't need to hide any of this. And we eventually retrace the steps, and we go. And we get on the road, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Boom, and we just drive. We drive, and we go. And this was the funny part for me. That's when we are driving out there, and that's when we noticed all of the no trespassing signs, and there were hundreds of them. I didn't see them at night, and I didn't notice them during the day the next day because I'm driving. I'm not like looking. I'm driving. And but with him, he was like, dude, the no trespassing signs, right? They were everywhere. So we and this is it's miles of base with this fence and these no trespassing signs. Anyway, I said, okay, the road's going to T-bone, and that's where I was at. So we're waiting for the T-bone, and we're seeing it pop up on the GPS, and we're getting close. We drive all the way to the T-bone. I said, this is where I was right here. And we go up to the T-bone, and we go to turn around, and there's the signs. It's the entrance to Edwards. And now we posted, I didn't know. And at night, when I did that U-turn, I didn't see those signs. I didn't see it. I made the U-turn, and I came back, made the other U-turn, and parked my Jeep. I mean, it's dark. It's at night. I didn't see it. And the entrance, the sign for Edwards is brown. And so at night, I just missed it. But all the other warning signs that we posted the pictures of, they go on for like a quarter of a mile, right, down. And that restricted sign that I posted where we turned around, that you can't even see those in the pictures. That one, it was that much farther down the road. So I didn't see that at night. But now here I am with Eric, and as we met, I'm like, holy crap, this is the entrance. Okay, so we park the Jeep, and we get out, and we're taking pictures of you're not supposed to take picture signs, all right? And we pose, and we're taking selfies, and we're doing all of this. And we turn around, and we go back to the spot where I was standing. And we get out, and we're looking. And Eric he's posting the pictures now. This is the spot that I was standing at when I saw the, and he's posting the pictures now. If you want to see them, go to hashtag F2B, go to the sandbox, and you can see, he's posting the picture of the road. It's way out there. And this picture, if you look on the left, there's the barbed wire fence, and that's where those no trespassing signs are, and it just goes on for miles surrounding Edwards. So that's there in that picture. The next one that he's got posted up here, he doesn't have a caption, but it is from where I was standing looking over Edwards, and you can see the hangars, and you can see a little piece of the runway. You can see the what looks like the tower. There's two towers there. So, and maybe that's where the lights were that I saw. I don't know. Now, from this view of the one that he hasn't captioned, and let me look at the other one, you can see the towers on the left. Yes, okay. So from this view, and you can see a giant aircraft hangar somewhere here, just above, just not far, because from where I was standing, it was almost straight ahead. So when I say 10 degrees, like this would be straight ahead, like right here. It was in my line. It was like I didn't tilt my head up. I was just looking at it. And so somewhere right here above Edwards, that's where I saw the craft. Or I'm calling it a craft. I don't know. All I know is it went brrr. And when I went out there the next day and I look across and I didn't see any radio towers, I didn't see anything with a circle attached to it. I was expecting it to be big and there. And I kind of freaked out on that. I got to be honest. It was not what I expected to see. But so Eric got to go out there with me and see all of this. I think that I was surprised to be that close to Edwards, that we were actually on the base. When we took the left-hand turn, here is Eric. Eric just posted all of the pictures of the signs here. Yeah, that could be the tower. Yeah, exactly, right there. Eric just posted 4 pictures. I'm going to retweet this. I'm going to do this live on the air so everybody can see it. Popo. This is the location where I saw the round lights go off. Okay, so here it is. It's now up in Twitter for everybody else. Let me hit retweet on this. Thank you, Eric. Eric's obviously listening to the show right now and doing this. So I just got this up in Twitter, hashtag F2B. And so what's interesting about these shots, forget about Edwards. The first shot that says restricted, no off-roading, no photography, that sign is like 10 feet by 10 feet. It's like a billboard. And that was about 100 or 200 yards past the entrance sign that says Edwards Air Force Base, U.S. Air Force Base Edwards, or whatever it says. But on down the road, so we decide. Eric's like, man, let's keep going. So I take off, and then this sign pops up, and I was like, you know what, man, we're turning around. We are on the base. There is no gate. We are on the base, and so I took this picture, or maybe this is Eric's picture, but I took this from the steering wheel because no off-roading. We've been doing that. Just parking the Jeep and getting out. No photography. We're taking selfies underneath these signs, and no videography. We're shooting videos of everything. And I was like, man, they know we're here. And I just had that whole Men in Black thing at the gate, and I'm driving the same Jeep. And I know, I'm just imagining to myself that security's like, the Fade to Black Jeep is at the South Gate. Fade to Black Jeep at the South Gate. And I was expecting somebody to pull up. Oddly enough, everybody that pulled off the base, there were 3 cars. Eric, you've got to post this. 3 cars drove by us. All 3 were BMWs. like a BMW 5 Series and 2 BMW SUVs. That's what came off the base. Anyway, so we turn around and we head back. And now when we were driving there, and I got to head to a break. Okay, so I'll tell you the next part in just a second in detail. But when we were driving, I noticed, and I just looked off to the side because he was talking about the no trespassing signs. So I'm looking at, and then I see, now, it's nothing but open desert. There's nothing there. There's no houses. There's nothing. There's no traffic. There's nothing out there. And at Edwards Air Force Base, on the other side of this fence, for probably 5 miles, nothing. There's nothing there. But something catches my eye. And I see out in the brush this gray structure. I was like, that's interesting. But we're trying to get to the UFO location, right? Okay. So, but I said, Eric, whatever that is, when we come back, let's stop and check that out. And now it's gone. And there's nothing out there. There's nothing. We go to the signs, we do this or that, and then we do our thing. Time has passed. We get back in the car and we're heading back. And I said, man, we got to find that thing, whatever it was. And we posted the pictures of it. So I'm going to take a quick break right here. And when we come back, I'll post it up during the break, and I'll show you the pictures of this gray structure and what it may or may not be. Pretty interesting, just out there in the desert all by itself. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, my guest is me. I want to thank Lou Elizondo for coming in earlier. That was a brilliant conversation. Thank you, Lou. Awakening Man, posting all of this stuff. And I'll get these pictures of this gray structure up for everybody. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com, and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, my guest is me. I don't get to do this too often. This is pretty cool. And now, I just posted right before the break. I had other plans for tonight. And Lou Elizondo called in earlier. If you missed it, you can go back and listen to the replay. But so that ate up a segment, and I had things a little bit more structured tonight, so things got pushed back. But anyway, I was just talking about Eric Awakening Man came by and stayed with me, and we did a sky watch. He had his night vision, I had mine, telescope, binoculars, and a great time. Grilled out some amazing steaks and kebabs and stuff. We had an excellent meal, and we did some drinking too as well. Anyway, so the next day we just very impromptu, we head out to Edwards Air Force Base to go back to the location where I had this sighting. And while we were driving out there, and Edwards is big, and it's in the middle of the Mojave Desert, takes up a lot of land. And we eventually make our way to the location. But driving out there, I saw this structure out in the middle of the desert sitting there by itself. And when you drive for as long as we drove, you notice there's just nothing out there. There's nothing there. And to have this gray building out in the distance sitting there, it caught my eye. And I told Eric, when we're done, when we come back, we need to stop by and check that out. It looks interesting. So we do just that. And as we're driving back in the middle of the desert, this thing is sticking out. Oh, I've got Eric calling in. So let me grab Eric. And we see this thing sticking out, and we pull over to the side of the road. Now, to get all of this set up for everybody, I've posted the 3 pictures up on Twitter. If you go to hashtag F2B on Twitter. You can go and see the images. And for some reason, there it is. My mouse has stopped working. Okay, so now let me bring in Eric. Eric, how you doing, man?
Good. We're hanging out. We're about 10 miles away from Monument Valley, which is the premier epic mountain and rock and crazy structures and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're at this little Airbnb and we're actually on the Navajo Reservoir. We got an Airbnb on the Navajo reservation. Excuse me.
Oh, that's cool. Now you say we. Who's with you?
Somebody here special would like to say hi to you.
Hi, Jimmy. It's Sarah Adams.
Oh, hey, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and you?
I'm on the air. You know I'm having a good time, but
yeah, we were just listening to you.
Yeah, right on. So you're there to cause trouble and do your job and do it well, okay?
I will, promise.
It's good to hear your voice, Sarah. Wow, that was a surprise. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Right
and
on.
Roz in the bedroom. He's resting his back. Yeah, I got to Jimmy.
Okay.
We're on the road. We're on the road at 5. Real quick, we're on the road at 5 o'clock this morning. We watched this AC/DC tribute band in Williams, Arizona last night that was completely off the hook, and they're going to be in Long Beach coming up in about a week and a half. So I want you and Brad Harris to go. You got to check these guys out.
Yeah, I watched the videos today, and that Angus dude has got it down cold.
He does, man. He's got the moves down.
Yeah, he does,
and
man.
He had energy, man. Dude, I recorded every song they did. They went for like 40 minutes straight. That guy did not stop the entire time.
I was getting tired. And I was just watching him. Okay, so now let's get back to this this underground entrance. And so you and I pull up. And we get out of the car, and again, no trespassing signs everywhere. And we walk up, and we're looking at this thing, and that's when I realized that this is an entrance to something underground, and that's exactly what it is. Now, it was surrounded by security barbed wire fence, like you would see at a prison, with the angled barbed wire on the top, tall. Had a little parking lot next to it, which I found strange, and a road, and then an air vent, coming out. So obviously it's stairs going down. Maybe it's an elevator. I don't know, but it's an entrance to something underground, and I resolved that in my mind in a matter of seconds. What did you think we were looking at?
Well, it's the classic hidden in plain sight. I mean, if it was super, super top secret, though, they wouldn't have put it out there. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jesus, that could your imagination could go in any number of directions. It was definitely a bunker. I mean, I'm sure it was going underground. I saw everything you just described. But I'll tell you what, I'm not hopping that fence to go find out. That's one little venture I won't do with you. You're not talking me into it, so don't try.
What's so funny is that it is an invitation for an adventure, because the security fence that you and I are standing at is 3.5, 4 feet tall, right? So we could jump that with no effort. And then it's probably 50 yards, maybe 100 yards to this, and there's no gate on the front. You can walk straight through. Now, you can't see from this photograph if there's a door there. There's a door, but I don't know if there's a door in the door frame, or if you can just walk straight in. I don't know. But to have the berm around it and those concrete triangled, concrete traffic block things that are around it, obviously there to keep vehicles from ramming this thing, and I find that very interesting. And so if it was something benign, I've seen people say, well, it's a seismic. No, I don't think it's a seismic anything. It's underground sewage. It's to water supply. Well, they are certainly protecting this thing. They're protecting the water supply. I don't know. But it is an entrance to something underground, isn't it?
It's got to be. But I'm excited. Really, I'm getting right to the point. That the next time we get a chance to go out there at night with the night vision and the binoculars and post up in a secure location and just watch the sky out there, I think we're going to see some stuff, because that object you talked about earlier in the show, that red, yellow, orange, kind of blue, green, whatever. I mean, at least 3 to 5 colors. It was rotating so quickly. I could see it very clearly. And then when I put the night vision up to it and sharpened it up, I have the 5x zoom. It looked to me like it was in the shape of a triangle, but it was not moving. We both know it wasn't moving, but it was weird. It was weird.
Yeah. And
so I want to see that again. And it looked like where we were and where that was, it was probably over the base. I mean, it was very close. It was so close that had we been at the base at that moment, we might have really, really got a good view of it.
The when Eric says triangle, okay, I want to be very clear to everybody. It would be a triangle standing on its end. So 2 lights on the bottom and 1 light on the top. It wasn't a triangle flat, like you're looking up at a triangle and you're seeing it from underneath.
Correct. It was actually tilted. It seemed like it was tilted a little bit.
Right.
Didn't it? Could you tell? It did look tilted.
There
was weird.
The thing is the lights are rapidly blinking, but from what I could see, it looked like there were 2 lights on the bottom and then 1 on the top. That's what it was. And so it was in this position. Very strange. And the stranger part to me, Eric, you and I have been looking at the sky for a couple of hours and it wasn't there.
No,
it
wasn't.
It just appeared.
I actually saw two fast moves. When you were setting up your scope to look at Jupiter, to your backside, I was looking out that way with the night vision, and I saw 2 fast movers in the sky, way, way out there, way beyond. I mean, way out there. And so I told you that. And then, but at that time, I was looking in that area, and that thing was not there. And then I switched my attention over to your side because you were telling me about the moons and Jupiter, and I'm looking at that. And then at that one time you were looking into the scope, you can only see Jupiter through your scope and a few of the moons around it. But if something flew above it or in the direct, you didn't see that one object. And I posted it on Twitter. I'm telling you, it was moving really quick. It just came on and moved really quick. It was over the top of Jupiter, but not at the distance, but in that area. And then it was gone. I mean, it didn't move away. It just vanished. And I said, did you see that? And I don't think you saw it, because had you seen it, you would have got excited like I am right now, because to me, that was the sighting of the night. I wish you.
The other part to this, and I've in a very cavalier way have said over the years, I'm going to go to Area 51 and get arrested. It's going to be so much fun, and let's go and do that. I'll take one for the team. And then we go out there to Edwards, and I'm serious. We did everything that those signs said not to do. We're taking pictures, right? We're pulling our off-road vehicle off the road. We're shooting video. And right in front of everybody there that is driving on and off the base, and they're driving by us, and we're out there with our cameras taking pictures underneath signs that say, do not take pictures, right? It was just like, we were asking for trouble. We were, and I chickened out, man. When you said, let's keep going, and you talked me into it. And then that last sign, the big one, which was further down the road. It wasn't, it wasn't in that first group of signs. And that last sign.
Let me just tell you something. I promise you, matter of fact, any amount of money you want to bet, there is a gate at the way down at the end, because that's exactly how Area 51 is there's all these signs. They try to scare you off, but you keep going, and then you get to the gate, and there's more signs. And anyway, March, Area 51, Rachel, Nevada. Put that on your calendar, because I'm going to take you to see something you're never, ever going to see again. And that's all I'm going to say on the air. March 2022, mark that on your calendar, Area 51. You're going to see a show.
Well, but
that's not a hype. That's the truth.
Okay, but March 2022, I'm going to be in Egypt for 2 weeks.
Oh, shit, really? What party? What month? What days? Like first part or middle?
I think it's March 1st through the 15th.
Okay, I think this is the 23rd or 24th or 26th or in that range. So if you're home by the 16th or the 17th, and this is the next following week, I'll look into it. The guy that's out there, I'll have to get a hold of him, and because he told me the dates, but I didn't write it down. But he says they don't advertise it. That nobody even knows it. Only the locals that live there know it. That's it. They don't.
Okay.
They tell a few of their friends.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. We'll make plans for that. But here's the other part. The amount of high tech and secrecy and black projects that is going on in this area, you can feel it, can't you? I mean, the signs are everywhere.
You know, here's what I correlated to. I was telling you, like you said earlier, that the neighborhood is so quiet. You don't even hear. I think I was there like almost 18 hours, and finally, just before I was going to leave, two of your neighbors came out and were having a conversation. That was the only time I saw or heard anybody. So those people know how to keep their mouth shut and keep a secret. That's why we don't. You know what I mean? That's the vibe of that area. It's like they all know stuff's going on, but nobody's going to come out and talk about it. They probably work there for all we know. That's the way I saw it.
Now, now that you've been here and you've seen my neighborhood, the police were here earlier tonight on the air. Did you hear that? Yeah, did you hear that part of the show?
Oh, you're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not. It was live on the air. So
they came and knocked on your door?
Listen, you know where the bunker is, right? And you know the window, a full disclosure, the bunker is now in my home, okay? I don't have a separate commercial facility. But in front of me, there's a side window that you even commented on, right? You were like, man, can people see in here?
Yes, I did comment. I said, what if somebody comes to your door? What are you going to do?
Right. So I'm sitting here live on the air, Eric, and right past the window, this is about an hour ago, two cops walked by, and I could see their badge, and I left the blinds open. And you remember I told you I closed the blinds during the show, right? Nobody can see in. So they walk by, and I see the one cop knocking on the front door, and the other cop turns and faces that dude, and he looks right in, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I'm talking on the air, and I literally went, I'll be right back. And I just muted, and I walked out and talked to him for about 60 seconds, and I had a heart attack, man. I thought this is what I thought. I thought it was about you and I, that they ran my license plates.
Now that you're telling me the story, that's what I'm thinking right away.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. You know,
they're looking for me instead of who's that other guy.
That's what
you probably threw me under the bus. It wasn't my fault. It was this other guy. He said he had a friend in some intelligence agency, and we were cleared.
I would have gave you up in a second. I would have gave them your number.
That.
And but it turned out to be none of that. It was just whatever, some neighborhood stuff. And not that big of a deal. But between here and the bunker and that front door, everything was going through my mind. And I thought it had to do with Edwards, man. I really did. Oh, man. But, yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, you know the bunker. You know the window I'm talking about. And it boom, just like that. Wow. It was crazy, man. It was.
You better be glad I'm not a prankster, because I could prank you so hard if I wanted to. I really could.
Well, that's why
I won't do that.
And see, that's why I don't want anybody to know where I am. See, you are the example of that. You are the example.
But I got to maintain that secrecy, which I can do.
But how cool is this area? You know, you've got Skunk Works right here. You've got.
We don't want to give up too much information, but it's a great area. And you know what I like about it is it's not down there on sea level. It's up a little ways, so it's not bacon like, when it might be 100 in the valley, it's probably 88 there or something. You know what I mean? It's not as hot, and it's got some mountain range, and you're close to a lot of things, and I like it. It's a good spot. I think you made a good call.
So you're not going to hop the fence then?
No, no. I don't see no.
Oh man! So what are you guys on the road doing?
So yeah, we're doing all the megaliths and all the rocks and the crazy stuff in Utah that you can go on Twitter. I'll be posting lots of pictures on the next several days because tomorrow's when it really starts. And then we're going to go to Blind Frog. Dwayne Ollinger, Roz already talked to him. We got the thumbs up. They're actually filming right now. I think it's Discovery or Disney. I don't know who it is they're filming with, but they're filming with somebody, the same group they filmed with last time. And we're going to be there while they're filming.
You're going to Blind Frog Ranch.
Yes, and we're going to sleep. Raw is like best buddies with Dwayne now, so we have permission to go there and sleep and camp on the ranch wherever we want to go. We're going to go swim in that healing pond that he's got there, and they're going to be filming. And I'm sure as long as we stay out of the way of the filming, and then I just think it's just going to turn into a great adventure. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going to happen or how much. How pretty we're going to be, but it looks like we're going to be pretty. So I'm excited. And then the guys from Skinwalker are going to be there this weekend at the conference at the Phenomenon in Tondongo. I'm jacked. It's going to be cool.
Now, you just spent 2 days with me. You didn't tell me you were going to Blind Frog Ranch.
I thought I did tell you. No, I guess not.
I thought I did tell you.
Yeah,
no,
Blind
you didn't.
Frog,
I'm hearing it right now for the first time.
By the way, we got the VIP tour, and we're going to get a tour of Skinwalker also. That's through the Phenomenon.
What?
You might want to just hop on a plane. If I'm serious, if you want to hop on a plane, I'll pick you up.
I can't. You know what I've got going on this weekend? I've got the movie premiere. I've got Fade to Black. I've got Anyway, I'll film it all. But and then of course Duke. He's calling me every day. He's excited. I'm going to come up there and we're going to go hang out at his little spot where he's got the Bigfoot. I'm excited about that too. There's going to be a bunch of Bigfoot researcher guys that have been doing it a long time. They've got all sorts of pictures and evidence that I'm going to get to see that doesn't get posted on their channels or how that works, right? Everybody's always got their little private stash of pictures that they only show their friends. So I'm going to get to see some of those. I'm excited about that. Right. Actually. So you're going to go hang out with Duke Sullivan, and he's in Montana.
Missoula, Montana.
Right.
Missoula. Yeah.
So you're going to
go. And then from there, if the energy holds up on the way back to California, I'm going to stop in Washington State and go visit your guest that's going to be on Wednesday, Dr. Matthew Johnson, and hopefully everything that he tells you Wednesday, I'll be able to get some sort of confirmation or verification of when I go and visit with him, and I'm looking forward to that's going to be like the icing on the cake right there. I mean, imagine I go there and the Janu, come out of the forest at night, and I get some example of their presence. Just I don't have to see them. I just want to be able to know in my mind that, yes, they're here. I believe they're here. I just, you know what I mean? That's sometimes it's not always a visual thing, but of course, if I see them, I'll be psyched.
Man, that's a heck of a road trip. Started off here.
I know.
Started off here at Edwards, right? Did all of that. If that wasn't exciting enough, you're going to go to megalithic sites in Utah and check out petroglyphs and go do all of that. Then you're going to go to Blind Frog Ranch with Dwayne Ollinger and camp out there. Then you're going to go hang out with Duke Sullivan and go do some squatching. And then you're going to go over to Dr. Matthew Johnson's property and go do some more squatching. That's too much excitement. How many weeks on the road are you going to be?
It'll probably be close to 3 weeks. And I brought a lot of money with me. So, I mean, I'm not going to try to spend it all, but if something happens, I'll be prepared. But the van's all dialed in. I'm psyched. I'm super psyched. I'm going to film the whole thing. And so check this out. You remember that show, The Mod Squad, from back in the 70s?
I do.
There was the black guy, the white girl, and the white guy, right? Mm-hmm. So that's me, Ron, Sarah. So I'm calling us we're the Mod Squad. So we're going to film. I'm going to be filming everything. And then, like I said, if we get some good content, make a pitch, do a little mini series on the whole event, do I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Wow,
it's not important. I don't, but it'd be fun. You know?
Yeah. That's a
and then
real
I'll have you
road
narrate
trip.
it, so then you can put that on your credits. You can help me pick the music, and you contact all the musicians and say, hey man, listen, this is how we're gonna do this. My buddy's making this little video. We're just gonna throw 20 seconds of your song in there. Don't trip on it. Please go along. Okay, Jimmy, for you we'll do it. And then I'll play Hypnotize. Who was that? Fleetwood Mac. What was that? Who did that song? Hypnotize?
Bob Welch.
That's a bad jam
Fleetwood
right
Mac. Well, and see,
Bob Welch.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Eric's got the ultimate road van. It's nice. He's got it all fixed up. He's got a generator and a refrigerator and a bed and a nice old school TV mounted in the ceiling. And it's a nice van. So it's not like you're out there. I don't want people to picture, some
I'm not
homeless
the guy in the
guy.
van down by the river.
No, you're not that dude. No, you're not. You do it in comfort and style, but you're going to have a lot of fun. That's a lot of excitement to be packed into 3 weeks. Man, I mean, I'm already pretty excited. I mean, 3 days. It seems it's already like. I mean, I can't imagine how I'm gonna feel in 3 weeks. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to calm down at some point because I'm pretty pumped up. Wow,
really,
Eric. Well, be safe out there and keep a watch out and take care of Sarah. I know Ra's with you too as well, and give everybody my best and tell Ra I said yo. I look forward to the videos. Let's put a movie together. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Okay, so Wednesday, we'll see you Wednesday.
Wednesday. What is Wednesday? Oh, Dr.
Wednesday,
Matthew.
on the radio.
On the radio.
We'll hear you on Wednesday.
I thought you were driving by here again.
Yeah, I'm going to come get you. Take you. You're coming with us. You don't know it yet. I shouldn't have said that.
Eric.
But anyway, yeah. So, I'm excited. Thanks for letting me call on it. Good talking to you guys.
No, thank you for calling in.
Oh, by the way, real quick, the meal that we had was, and I told you this, but I got to tell everybody, this is no jive. Jimmy is the best cook, and we had the best meal. And then we wanted to go to IHOP, and they didn't have whatever. We were going to wait 45 minutes, so we went to Bonds, and we bought all the killer breakfast stuff. And then we came home and had the best breakfast. So, yeah, you rock it on the food, bro. No doubt about it.
I'll talk. Eric, thank you so much, man. And again,
buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Take care of everybody and be safe out there.
All right. Talk to you later.
Eric, Awakening Man. And we had a great 2 days, but nothing compared to what he is about to do. I had no idea. He's going to Blind Frog Ranch. He's going to camp. They're going to go through all the megalith and petroglyph sites in Utah. And then he's going to go up and hang out with Duke Sullivan and go do some squatching with Duke and his crew. That's going to be amazing. And then wrap it all up. Head over to Dr. Matthew Johnson's property over there in Washington, do some more squatching. Whew, man, that's an adventure. What a great night on the show tonight. What an adventure. We had the Popo. We had Lou Elizondo. We had Eric Awakening Man. We've got all the pictures posted up in Twitter of our little mini adventure that we did over the last 2 days. Good times. And I want to thank everybody for letting me just come in and hang out. I have never done this on Fade to Black after all of these years, but I did it tonight. And I want to say happy Labor Day to everybody. And if you were at home tonight and you were wondering if the show was going to go on, well, there you go. We had a great time tonight. And thank you to all of you. You Fadernauts are the absolute very best. And so with that, I'm going to get out of here. No show tomorrow night. I've got family business that I've got to take care of and go and do. Okay, but Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Ray Hobbs. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. No show tomorrow night. Wednesday night, Dr. Matthew Johnson. Thursday night is, of course, Fader night with open lines all night long. I want everybody to be safe. And until Wednesday night, It is time to fade to black.